For years, this photo, which was included with the Bespin Leia figure, was the only hope that we would be getting an actual Bespin Han Solo from Hot Toys. Both Luke and Leia have had two figures released from The Empire Strikes Back, but Han Solo has not had one yet. Well, I'm tired of waiting for Hot Toys, which is why I decided to make my own 1/6 scale Han Solo Bespin figure. Okay, now what you see before you has taken me about 6 months to get everything together. Um, I started out with the body, which is something I already had, and the hands. But the other articles I had to chase down, most of which came from overseas, which basically is the reason why it took so long to get everything together. And eBay was my prime source to find everything. First up is the body. As I mentioned, this is something that I already had, so I didn't have to chase it around. I was going to do a custom figure for some other character, but it sort of like got pushed off, and I kept this, but it actually has the right proportion, so I figure it could work for Han Solo. Anybody who collects 1/6 scale figures has an abundance of extra hands lying around. So I just picked out two that would work. And this one in particular is good because it's already molded to hold the gun. The clothing was actually the hardest thing to track down, especially something that looks good because there's a lot of cheap looking stuff out there. But I found this company on eBay that sold the shirt, the pants, and the jacket 1/6 scale that's actually made just for Bespin Han. In particular, I was looking for someone that made a really good jacket because without that blue jacket, this will not work. The jacket is the key element. This is something I was lucky to come across. I found someone on eBay who is basically selling parts from the Hot Toys Solo figure from the standalone Solo movie. Um, they were just selling the holster and the boots. I know the color of this holster is a little light compared to Han's holster in The Empire Strikes Back, but this one was in good shape and it came with all the accessories. That also included the belt, which is something I wasn't even thinking about. But yeah, Han does have a belt holding up his pants. The boots are very weathered, but they do look good. They look solid. Um, and they are from the Han Solo movie because 2019 that actually matches the timeline of when the figure came out. The gun was actually the easiest thing to find. This is one of the most iconic weapons in motion picture history, and if you do an eBay search, you will find many companies that have them. Some look good, some look bad, but I think this one looks pretty good. Now, this is something that's hit or miss. There are a lot of companies that make a Han Solo Harrison Ford head sculpt. Some are good, some are bad, some are mediocre. Um, the one I saw in the picture looked good, but looking at this one, it sort of looked like he's suffering from hibernation sickness. Um, I'm not crazy about it, but let's see how it goes. Now I'm going to take a moment and put all these pieces together, and hopefully the end result will be positive. I would really appreciate it if you use this opportunity to like this video and subscribe to the channel so I can get more cool stuff out to you in the future. And now for the big reveal. Here is Bespin Han Solo. To quote Han Solo himself, sometimes I amaze even myself. This came out pretty good. It's not perfect, but it actually came out much better than I thought it would be, so the effort was worth it. I really wish I could play some Star Wars music in the background to make this more immersive, but I'm not trying to get a copyright strike. The clothing actually looks really good. I like the white shirt with all the folds and the way it cuts there. The jacket is good, really good. It's a little tight, but it doesn't bother me that much. The holster, Yeah, it looks solid. I mean, that's a Han Solo holster right there. And yes, I know the stripe is missing from the sides of the pants, but that's something that I can add in later, so I'm really not worried about it. Um, but overall, this is not bad. This is not bad at all. Not really happy with the head sculpt, but there are other options out there, and for now, this will make a good placeholder. Now let's take a look at how he looks standing next to his best bro in the galaxy, Chewbacca. This looks really good. You can imagine them stepping down the ramp on the Millennium Falcon to check things out. They're the perfect team. And here are the galaxy's favorite two lovebirds. They look great together. I love this pose. Who would have ever thought that these two people would spawn a kid like Kylo Ren? Wonder what Han is thinking right now that that old smoothie Lando Calrissian is trying to cut in on his action. Here is my custom Han Solo next to two actual Hot Toys Han Solo figures. I really like the way this looks, and it makes me wonder what would my figure look like with one of the real head sculpts on it. Yeah, this kind of works. It reminds me of the famous promotional shot of Harrison Ford aiming the gun at his own head. Overall, I'm very happy with this project. This was my first kit bash, and I put a lot of time into it, and I'm happy to say it turned out pretty well. There's still some tweaking I want to do, such as get a better head sculpt, as well as find a way to put the stripes on both sides of his pants. I know it's not perfect, and I know we'll never be on the level of a real Hot Toys figure, but until Hot Toys actually decides to release a real Bespin Han, this figure will proudly sit with the other figures in the Empire Strikes Back section of my collection. Thanks for watching, and here's a sneak peek of the next custom figure I'll be working on. Yippee-ki-yay!